everybody. So I appreciate you guys having me out here tonight. Joe and I flew in this morning from Fort Lauderdale. That's one of the advantages of real estate is that I don't actually live in Memphis, Tennessee. I live in Fort Lauderdale, where it makes a heck of a lot more sense to live. Would you not agree? But my business operates in Memphis, Tennessee. And as the introduction kind of laid out there, yeah, we've kind of turned this thing into a real business, a really big business, but we never set out to do this. All we ever set out to do was buy and sell a couple houses, maybe pay off a little bit of debt, and figure out a way to stop working for somebody else. Does that sound like anybody else in the room? Raise your hands. Okay, good. I started exactly where you are. I tell you in December, I tell you the date. December 22nd of 2002, I was sitting in a room just like this. That's how I started my career. And in January 2003, I did my very first deal. And we never looked back from there. So that's what I'm going to share with you tonight. I really want you to pay close attention because I can assure you, you have never, ever seen a way to do deals the way I'm about to show you. I have no interest, ladies and gentlemen, in showing you how to flip a house. Anybody can show you how to do that. You're a part of AREA right here. These guys are experts on how to flip a house here and there. No question. And actually probably how to flip a lot of houses. But I'm going to show you how to flip hundreds of houses. And more importantly, I'm going to show you how to flip hundreds of houses and you not do any of it. Because, let's be real honest, I don't think anybody gets into this business to actually create a job for yourself. But unfortunately, that's what most of us end up doing. I've been doing this for a long time. I literally have spoken to probably in the neighborhood of 100,000 students over the last few years. And the overwhelming majority of people get into this thinking that they're going to go and own a business, and they own a job. At the end of the day, if you can't walk away, go away for a month, go hang out with your kids, go hang out with your wife, or go hang out with your husband and go do something else, and when you get back, there's more money in the account, you own a job. You don't own a business. So that's what I'm talking about tonight. Does that sound good? Yes? Yes. Okay, here we go. So the first thing I need you to understand real quick is that cash buyers are the absolute highest value target in the market right now. Everybody understands why, right? At the end of the day, they don't need the bank. If they don't need the bank, life gets pretty easy for us. Here's what most people don't understand, is that 33% of all real estate transactions right now nationwide are being done with cash. 3 out of every 10 people I put up here in front of you tonight, walk up in front, 3 out of 10 are stroking a check for 50, 100, 200, 300, $1 million for property. Anybody want to know those people? Okay. Because I've built a business on it, and we've shown other people how to build businesses on it. That's what I'm here really talking about, is how to start with cash buyers, get access to them, and build a business around it. It is extremely important, and it is very, very powerful, what I'm going to share with you. I can tell you that this is what really successful real estate investors do. I want you to, if you can, I'm going to encourage you to do this, forget everything you've ever been taught about real estate investing. Whether it's the media, whether it's your neighbor, whether it's your mentor, I just want you to imagine for a minute that there might be a different way to do this. That's what I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you something that I can honestly tell you guys has completely changed my life. Completely changed my life. I'm going to share my story with you here in a few minutes. But I can tell you my life from 2002, when I got involved in this, to where it is today is significantly different. The numbers that were in the introduction are actually a little light. And the introduction is about a year old now. Because now we've put 1,200 houses. Now we manage 1,200 properties. Things get pretty interesting when you start getting into those kinds of numbers. So far this year, yeah, we bought and sold 86 properties. Bought and sold and rented and rehabbed 86 properties. And what are we, March, what is the day? 15th. So we're 75 days into the year. We're going to do quick math, right? While we're sitting here right now, a house is going to be bought and sold. And you know where I am. Sitting here with you. That's true power. And that's what I'm going to show you how to do. So, I will tell you that everything I'm going to show you tonight is as legit as it gets. There is no hidden agenda here. This is exactly what we do day in and day out in Memphis. Now, before I talk about it, let's talk real quick about what some of the obstacles are in the market right now. And let's just go through them here. Because how many people are brand new? Never flipped a house? Let me see your hand. Okay, how many of you have flipped between 1 and 10 houses? Let me see your hands. 10 or more. Okay, so we got a good variety here. I don't care whether you're brand new or whether you've been doing this for a long time, seasoned vet. At the end of the day, the problems are what they are in the market right now. The single biggest challenge in the market today are banks. They don't want to lend. Right? They got all the money. They're sitting on it. They don't want to lend. And because they don't want to lend, a buyer pool that in 2003 through 2007 was like this, all of a sudden it's like this. Right? Now here we are, as real estate investors, trying to cash in on the biggest opportunity of our lifetimes, and all of a sudden, nobody really wants to buy what we've got. Pretty tough to make a living like that. So the idea here is, how do you get over those challenges? How do you get past that? Now, the buyers that are left, I will tell you, they are not the most responsive buyers in the world either. They're the fat cats that are sitting there with their feet up on the desk saying, listen, everybody's bringing me their deals. How are you any different? Everybody's bringing me what they've got. I'll just cherry pick what I want because I have the gold. Because I have the gold, I make the rules. Right? It may not be the case down here in Kansas City, but I can tell you where I live in South Florida, we were the epicenter for the meltdown. Right? We were ground zero. I live in Palm Beach County, Florida. It was the absolute, ground zero for the meltdown. It was chaos when I got into this market. You could buy a house, and I'm not kidding, you could buy a house, put a sign in the yard, and within 2 weeks you would have multiple offers for $50,000, $75,000, or $100,000 more than you paid for it. That's what was going on when I got into this market. And somehow we think this, that made sense. We were all great real estate investors then, right? Basically, if you had a pulse and a father mirror, everybody was a great real estate investor in that market. It's different. That's not where we are now. The only people left standing now are the real estate investors. The speculators are gone. And I can tell you, if you don't have all your ducks in a row and you're out there buying properties, putting them under contract without a buyer in place, especially where I live in South Florida, and there's a lot of markets like this, you can get hurt really quick. Anybody ever been hung with a property where you buy a house and you kind of sit and you're waiting, sleepless nights, trying to figure out? If you haven't, consider yourself lucky, because that's not a good feeling at all, to sit there and hope you're going to get it sold. By the way, write this down. Everybody's got a pen and paper. Write this down. The number one rule in real estate, the best advice I can give you, number one rule, hope is not a strategy. If you don't have an exit plan, you have no business buying. Period. Hope is not a strategy. And the second you think you know more than you know, that's exactly when you'll get exactly what you deserve. Now, the challenges are real, but so are the solutions. And obviously, that's what we're here to talk about. What are the solutions? I'm going to tell you the solutions are cash buyers. Now, typically, when I say this in a presentation, this is about the time where people kind of roll their eyes and like, well, thanks for that. Captain Obvious, we got it, okay? I'm going to show you how to get it. I'm going to show you how to get them and actually build a business around it. This is what we're going to talk about. I'm going to show you right now how you can get a built-in buyer's list where you will have thousands and thousands of people at your fingertips ready to buy what you have in an instant. I'm going to show you how to not pay real estate commissions anymore, because let's think about it for a second here, okay? Kind of entertain you here. If I have a buyer in place, I have a cash buyer, do I need to go put it in the MLS? No. So if I don't need to put it in the MLS, that means I don't need to pay real estate commissions, right? And if I don't pay real estate commissions, you know where that money goes. Right here. And on a $200,000 property, that's about 12 grand. 12 grand. It goes in my pocket instead of somebody else's pocket because I already have the buyer. I don't have to go pay somebody else to find it for me. Okay? Cash buyers are no-hassle buyers, closings. Anybody ever done a deal with a cash buyer? Anybody? And my seasoned vets, let me see your hands. Yeah. At the end of the day, cash buyers, it's just easier. The best part about cash buyers is that there's no middleman. There's no headaches, there's no screw-ups, there's nobody to mess up your deal. We are so accustomed when we buy our property that we think it's supposed to take 30, 45, 60 days. The reason it takes 30, 45, 60 days is because the bank is involved. That is why. Because they have to jump through all the hoops to get up. If a cash buyer is involved, it's 7 days. 7 days. From the time that you buy it until the time you pick up a check and put it in your bank account is 7 days. Does that interest anybody? Okay. The closings don't fall apart. Everything is easy. And number one, that most of you probably don't realize that you're actually here to learn. We're not only here to talk about cash buying, it's what we call reverse wholesaling. Please write that down. It is going to be your best friend after tonight. I promise you. Reverse wholesaling. We work in reverse. We do it backwards. And it's not because I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. I do it backwards because it makes a lot of sense. I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. How did I come up with it? Well, let me tell you a little bit about myself first here. You heard a little bit about it in my